I've got, oh, the microphone is, all the settings seems to have changed while I was doing this, but the microphone seems to be working now. That's the microphone, but what I really want is the plug-in mic. Okay, so that seems to be working. We'll shut this down so you don't get two of them. And off we go. So off we go, right? Let's see. And now we pull into this thing and we've got ourselves working. Take a little coffee. Looks like it's working. Let me just bop over here to Periscope and see if Periscope seems to be working. Like it. We'll listen for the sound and then we will be on our way. And I apologize for this morning. We had a little bit of a snow emergency. Seems to be working. And we had challenges with our. So don't get two of them. So off we go, right? I still don't hear any sound. I don't hear the sound coming through. Now we pull into this thing and we've got. I hear some sound, but just a little bit of sound. Take a little coffee. Go to OBS and turn up like it's working. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. See if that helps the sound any. We'll pull them both up. And when it comes through, if it comes through, then we'll be all set to go. Let's see, the sound is up there, the sound is up here. I think I've got everything really nicely done, but you never know. And one of the things, yeah, it just seems so faint, and we got a lot of rumble in the last one, and I didn't like. Let's see. So if you want to know where all my crazy ideas come from, you know, here's Aristotle, here's Pascal, Kant is up there, medieval philosophy. There's a lot of epistemology up there. There's all kinds of books. Up above, there's let me just Robert Kiyosaki and the motivational Periscope. Books. And that's sort of what fuels me or has fueled me. I'm just not hearing any sound. I see somebody on there. I'm not hearing any. Oh, that's partly because I don't have my headset on. Oh, John, you're smarter than you think, but you're not as smart as you think. I still don't hear it. I got it up. Yes. Oh, there it is. Working. Oh, okay. Goodness. Testing 1, 2, 3. See if that helps the sound any. We'll pull them both. Okay, it sounds great, I think. Oh, man. I was going to do this all in the recording, and I thought I was ready to go. So let's stop streaming again. Okay, John Miglash for the WDMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. I did get word from someone out there that it's working, and so we're going to charge ahead. And if you were on the earlier one, we had a couple of viewers, so if you were on the earlier one, then this is going to be kind of a reprise of that one. So let's see. Let's try and go down here and get another one. Big snow, cold on the way. I'm going to double check one time, and then we're going. And this is the first time I've used earlier one. We had a couple. Okay, it sounds great. It's the first time I've used my little laptop, so you got to expect some crazy. But it's going to be 27 below tomorrow or Tuesday, Wednesday. It says it's going to get down to 27 below. I don't remember that kind of cold since I was a kid. So for those of you who are global warming, I don't know what you call it, worried about it, it's going to be cold too. It hasn't fixed it in Wisconsin here. And I've been I have a Facebook page that sort of discusses the science of it all and has been suggesting that we might get some cold weather. Anyway, that aside, I'm John Miglash for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. A couple of news items today that I found were interesting. One was that 75% of the search shopping impressions. See, now this got whacked out too. Everything's gotten whacked out. Oh, why do I have this weird hat on? Oh, that's because I was out snowblowing and my hair's all messy. We got about 6 or 7 inches, nothing major, but enough to get the snowblower out. So this is how we dress in Wisconsin. And somebody from Minnesota gave me a positive comment that they liked my hats on the show. So you get some hats. You know, every now and then you're going to get some hats. Sorry. Anyway, so 75% of the shopping impressions occurred on mobile. This is a really hard to understand article, because what they're talking about is that marketers put a lot of ads on Amazon, you know, but it's not. It's social media search, like SEO ads that come up. Well, you can't do that on TV. You know, so whoopee. But what was interesting was most of that growth was driven by Instagram. And I have Instagram. I use it a little bit, but not very much. Most of my kids aren't on it really that much anymore. And I got hacked. And Instagram's funny because they sent me a notice saying, you know, we've got a login from Indonesia or somewhere. Is that you? I said, no. Well, that isn't enough. They want me to re-verify all the stuff. And it was an old account, and I don't know what was up. So I just left it alone. I figured, well, I told them it wasn't me. It's, you know, don't let them on in Indonesia. No, that's not what happened. A typical Facebook fashion. What they did was they let them do whatever they wanted until I figured out my password and went to the trouble, which was days later, went to the trouble of actually trying to fix it. And so in the meantime, I ended up following 8,000 people. And it takes a little while to unfollow 8,000 people. So I've been doing you know, and so whenever I log into Instagram, these lovely young women come up who understand the limits of the Instagram of the Instagram pornography rules and know how to come right to the edge of it. I can tell you that. And so, you know, I just keep deleting them, unfriending them, but it's just Instagram, you know, is not my friend right now. But that was the main driver of all this data. And so it wasn't really a very good very good article. And, you know, I'm just putting some of these up sometimes every now and then to let you know that I look at a couple of dozen every one I put up here. And this was one of the, you know, this was one of the better ones today. Today wasn't such a great, one for news. Okay, here's an interesting one because this follows along on that, because here's Instagram. What do you know? Instagram, dun da da. I got my brush going. I got everything going. You know, I got so frustrated this morning because it's a brand new computer for this process, and we'll see how it works. But you know, nothing was working. So now it's everything's working. I just scrapped that last one and deleted it, and we'll fix it. We'll go up and delete them all so you can share them to your friends. Anyway, Facebook, we'll call it Facebook, but Facebook also owns WhatsApp and also owns Instagram. And what they're trying to do, they've got more than 1 billion users up on each of those apps. Okay? That's pretty amazing. And our family uses WhatsApp as our regular chat. Okay? So we don't even use like Android Messenger because or SMS as much as we use WhatsApp, because you can do movies. If you're not familiar with it, it's pretty great. You can do movies and pictures and, you know, all this stuff really seamlessly. It saves it to your phone so that you keep it, you know, it gets backed up. In my case, it gets backed up to Google Drive. So the whole thing really works well. And that said, they're going to push them together. Now, what I thought was interesting is one of the reasons we used WhatsApp was because we like the end-to-end encryption, you know, so nobody's reading our SMS stuff. So Facebook said, we're working on making more of our messaging products end-to-end encrypted and considering ways to make it easier to reach family and friends across the network. Okay, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I won't bolt from WhatsApp just yet. But one of the great things about capitalism is another one's coming along any day. You just know there is. And if we don't like it, Facebook will just have to keep buying them and wrecking them. And that's that. Okay, so you know, they're really consolidating them for advertisers. That's the main point of this article, just to let you know. Okay, so we'll hit save on that one. And what's keeping CMOs awake at night? One of the good things is that they're not worried about getting fired, not right away, because their tenure continues to grow. So a couple of years ago, the CMO only lasted 18 months, but now they're lasting about 3.5 years, which means some of them are lasting more. Now, part of the problem with that stat is that the CMO title is relatively new compared to, say, CEO or CFO, right? So if the first CMO was, let's say, in 1999, and he or she has been